Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Saint Artist. Let's do a tutorial. I am going to start with my eyes. I'm going to do my whole face, but I'm going to speed up the face. I'll talk through it on a voiceover, but you know, they get a little long when I do the whole face, but I haven't done a whole face in a while. And I wanted to do this really pretty eye look, and I really wanted to show the simplicity of putting on this makeup. So, Seint Makeup 3D Foundation. You want this stuff. That's all I'm going to say. You want it. Look at this pretty little palette. They're so, where are they? Look at those books. You see that back there? Those are palettes, and you can pick whatever size. I mean, you could, whatever size. There's so many. So let's get started. So I'm going to do my eyes first. I'm going to prep with my lids with my brightening highlight. I use Versailles. Versailles came out a year ago, September. So next month, tomorrow's next month. And as soon as I got it, because I was there at the reunion when it dropped, so I got to get it the day they dropped it. And then I tried it and I fell in love with it the day they dropped it. It's my favorite. So I'm going to show how to, I'm actually not going to speed up my face. I've changed my mind. And I want to show how you can kind of transition to a really bright under eye. I like a good bright under eye, but it's not for everyone. And that's okay. So I'm going to show how I do that. So I've already done my brows. As you can see, my husband always makes fun of my eyebrows when I do them first. He's like, wow. I'm like, thank you. All right, we're going to try a fun little method with the makeup that I like to do. So I'm going to clean it off on my tile here. I'm going to go into the first color. So here's the colors that I'm using. Leo, Philly, Peppa. I love Peppa. And As You Wish. I really have been in love with As You Wish lately. And so we're going to use it. We're going to use all these colors, and it's going to be easy. It's going to be fun because it's makeup. It should be fun. So if you want to try this makeup, take a picture of your face, send it to me. There's a form. Click the link, fill it out, and let's get you started. And you can fill your palette however you want, because this makeup is 100% customized to whatever you want in it. It's not like, hey, buy this kit and I load it in. You get to pick everything. I just give you the recommendations, and then everything else is up to you. So the first color I'm going to go into using the eyeshadow brush on the fluffy end is Leo. And I'm going to put this way up here. So I have a lot of real estate up here because I have hooded eyes. And so I kind of like to hide the fact that I have hooded eyes by bringing this color way, way, way up. And I just wash it above my crease, back and forth, and it just warms things up. Look at that. I also like using a really bright highlight to prep because it makes your colors bolder. Bolder, bolder, bolder. So if you're going for a bold eye, use a really light color to prep your lids. It just makes those colors pop more than having a neutral color laying underneath, because it can kind of change the tone of the shadows if you have something more beige. So if I were to use a color like this, or even my main highlight, it would just subdue the colors just a little bit. So we're going to go into Leo some more. And I don't bring it down. I pull it out past the outer corner and over. I just keep it lifted and high, just like that. My kids are so loud. Good grief. Are we ready for summer? I am. Okay, so here's the fun part. I'm going to take this small end right here, and I'm going to go into Philly first. Tapping in, I'm putting on quite a bit. I'm going to come outside the eye, and I am going to bring this up, and I'm going to go onto my lash line here. I'm going to push into my brow bone just above that crease, just like that. Oh boy, so scary, right? Pulling down, I like to bridge my upper shade down, just like that. Doing it again. And I'm going to go right here and I'm push up. It's real life today, guys. Usually I'll stop and restart, but we've passed that point. We have. I can't stop. So there might just come a point where I'm just like, hey, chickens, get in line. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Peppa, pushing into that short end after I cleaned it off. And we're going to pop that right here on that inner V, like it's eating the Peppa. Philly is eating the Peppa. Pushing into it, and I'm just going in and then over and filling in the middle. Same thing here. In and then filling in the middle of the lid, just like that. Clean it off. We're going to go into As You Wish. This one's pretty flecky, like chunky. So tap it off, and then we're just gonna push that right here. I do my eyes first, and I'm saying this because I can feel it falling. Because if you get fallout, it can stick to the creams, and so it just makes easy cleanup. So just right here. All right, now we're gonna flip to the fluffy end, give it a good cleaning on this. I'm telling you, just rinse it with water to clean it out, but this is just gold, having it right here in the palette. All right, so we're gonna take that fluffy end and we're gonna blend. Swirling around, bringing it out, bringing it down, bringing it in towards that. We're gonna go into the crease. We're gonna go into Peppa. We're gonna go into As You Wish, and they're just gonna blend together and look pretty, right? These are gonna look pretty. I love doing this. It's so fun. It's so fun. And if it doesn't work out, you just keep blending. If you feel that Philly's just too bold, I really like Philly. There's cocoa, which they say is more of is like a chocolate brown because it's, you know, cocoa. I find Philly to be more chocolatey, and I love it. It's my favorite shade of brown. Great for a smoky eye. I love it. I love it. It's very warm. It's warmer than cocoa. I feel a cough. All right. I definitely have a cough coming. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we've got that blended. So easy, right? Right. Got it down. And I'm going to take just a fluffy brush and just clean up under my eye from any fallout I had. And now we're going to get some liner and my eye shader brush. That's not it. Isn't it the loudest? This is just the loudest drawer ever. I'm missing my eye shader brush. I got to find it before I do anything. Where are you? I'm going to start unloading it. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Ava's singing. I love that. Okay. What the dickens? Okay. We're going to stick with the eyeshadow brush. We're going to grab my liner, Maybelline Tattoo Studio, and we're just going to waterline the top. I only waterline the top. I go about 3/4 of the way over. I like to push on my lash line just to fill in. It gives them a more fuller look once I get mascara on. I look crazy whenever I do this. I'm like, hi, I'm your neighbor. I'm funny, right? Okay, I'm just gonna take this, push it on the edge of my eye. I think doing my eyes and my brows takes longer than anything else. Okay, so here's why I needed the eye shader. I like to kiss my lash line with this. I'm gonna pinch, I can't even pinch, it's so small. And I'm just gonna buff this in. And I can clean this up if I just get too thick, but I just really like to smoke out and not have a defined line of eyeliner. But I like a good smoky eye. It makes me feel good, okay? It just makes me feel good. And that's all that matters, gosh darn it. All right, taking that short end and just pushing it in and buffing it in. Just pushing it. I really want to know where that eye shader brush is. I love that thing. It's just small enough that's just perfect. Perfect. All right, I'm going to grab my liquid liner and we are going to pop this on. And we're going to go about halfway in, and I just stay real close to the lash line and pull off as I pull out and meet where I came up, just to make the tiniest little cat eye. Tiniest. And I do like to pull my cat eye farther out when I pull up. I don't pull up from my corner. I come out so it almost extends the lash line even more. But this is a really, really tiny cat eye. I have hooded eyes, so I don't do it very big. I don't like it to fall into my crease. So pulling straight up, halfway in, pulling straight out to meet that line. And then we go in and we fill it in. And that's it. And then we'll put on some mascara. And then I'm going to show you a fast little hack. Hack when you're watching all of these tutorials on Seint Makeup just means highlight and contour. But it makes us feel cool to have a little acronym. Is that what it's called? Who got into my stuff? eye shader brush. No, that is gone. Okay. So wiggle at the root. Let's just zip through this part, okay? Okay. Mascara's on. All right, so let's show how I can do a pretty quick face. I'm doing a different contour today. This color is called Stone. I really like it. I'm going to use the detail brush to apply it. So this makeup is so easy, and I'm going to show you why. Because you're going to get into your contour, and you're just going to, let's load this in. This is a really light contour, and I like a, my God, can you even see it? I quit. I just like a bolder contour, so we're switching it out. No way, Jose. Indigo. It's right there anyway. All right, let's get into indigo. This brush is not picking things up today. There we go. Indigo. Okay, and we're just going to come right down here. Going to come down. I'm bringing it a little lower today, tapping over my discoloration. I corrected already. You guys didn't have to sit through, which is nice. Jawline, just going to chisel my jawline out. And then we're going to get our nose. My nose I'm a little more particular about because I have a bump. I have a bump, but I just make sure I make a good straight line, and then I square it off. So easy, but we really need to work on this. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. It's just so easy. So we're going to go into our brightening. I'm using Versailles. And I'm just going to tap this over. I'm going to bring it down the middle of my nose. We're going to tap it. We're going to tap it. And we're going to tap it. Really easy. So if you want, you can use brightening under your eye, or you can use your main highlight. And then when you add your brightening, you just pop it into the corner there. And that could be your pop color, and that's all you need. I do like making sure my brightening goes right into that corner instead of a shimmer, just because I feel like shimmers can mature those inner corners really easily, especially if you have textured under eyes. So just right here. And then I'm going to go in with the big end here. Okay, this is a little different. This is why I say there's no wrong way to do this makeup. It's so good. So I'm going to go in on the big end. I'm going to go into amber, my main highlight, and I'm going to blend as I go. So I'm just going to come right under here, and I'm going to add my main highlight. I come up right here because I have discoloration I want to cover, and then I can just blend it. So I just use little circles and I blend it. I bring it up into my crease area, tap it out, blend it out. I'm going to blend it into that brightening. Same here. I'm just going to blend out that main highlight, push it into those creases to fix all the discoloration. I don't like to apply creams directly to a crease because it can clump and it can look really thick when it's really, really not. Everybody's always so surprised because these look so scary. Everybody's always really surprised at how light this makeup feels. So I'm going to go into my brightening highlight, and I'm pushing this up and out towards that contour, and then I'm just going to blend out my contour. But you see how it just blends down so nice and super natural, and it mixes with that brightening, and it just creates balance and dimension. What? All right, I have a hair. There we go. We're just going to push in, and I just want to flick up. I don't pull down. I always flick up, and I always underblend my cheeks. But I like the tapping method the best because I have discoloration, and I color corrected. I don't like to mess with that. I also tap on my nose because I have that high point where I have my bump. And so I tap it to keep it there, but I want to blend it out so it looks nice and natural. Look at that. Flick up. Use my finger, actually. Let's use the finger. But look at how pretty this is coming together. Okay, little more down here because I want to camouflage my puffiness. And I'm just going to tap these together using the little end. I don't really like using big brushes under my eyes because it's hard to get into all the little nooks and crannies. So pretty. So I always pull down past the trough, but I tapped together. You have texture under your eyes. Everyone does. It's a soft tissue. I mean, there's not a lot holding it together right here. It's just kind of hammocking there between your eyeball and your orbital bone. And so you can easily crepe it and texturize it and draw attention to it. So staying light with your application here is key. But I love a good bright under eye. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the blush and bronzer brush because it's time for blush and it's time for bronzer. I'm going to go to the fluffy end. I'm going to tap into Bella and I'm going to pop some here. I'm going to pop it here. I love me some bronzer. So I'm going to go right there and I'm going to go right there. And then whatever's left on my brush, just going to put on my neck here because my neck's always a lot lighter than my face. And then I'm just going to blend. Look at how pretty this just comes together once you've gotten it all over. Blend it down, gives you just that warmth. Because it's been pretty warm here. I just have not had time to like get out in the sun. I mean, I'm not on vacation. I'm on mom mode. I want to put a little on my nose right there. I love it. We're just going to go like that. So let's add some blush. Going into Frenchie. It's a nice, I mean, we're getting into fall, y'all. We're getting into fall, y'all. So we're going to go in with Frenchie and I'm just going to tap. I like Frenchie because it's this warm peachy tone and it doesn't pull my scarring through. I'll often use this with, if I want a bright pink, I'll use this with, and I'll add my Frenchie down here and blend it into my bolder cheek. It's just a good weapon. Frenchie's a great weapon. Hair, I pulled little tendrils down and it just didn't work out. Okay, there we go. But look, it's just this nice peachy tone and I love it. And I'm going to go into some setting powder because I'm very oily. And I'm going to start up here and I bring it down and then I tackle my under eyes. If you like a matte finish, you can make this as matte as you want or leave it and let it be dewy. I will be dewy in like 30 minutes because I'm so oily. And so I just keep one of these in my purse, or our blotting papers are so good. I'm so glad they came out with blotting papers. All right, what's some more bronzer? I want to be warm. You'll see in my pictures, sometimes I'm just a little warmer than others. Look a little more tan. It's just my bronzer. It's just my bronzer. Okay, so let's contour our lips. And we are going to go right down here with our contour and right up here. I just want a subtle shadow. So I just put a little bit of contour under and over my lip. Now I have a zit. I can cover the color, which I have, but I can't hide the texture. I can try to camouflage it the best that I can, but if I put too much makeup on, really trying to cover it, people spend a lot of time trying to cover a zit when they're really just trying to just push down that texture. You can't take it away, but if you add a little bit of powder to it, that can help set it and leave it. So it is reduced, but I mean, texture's texture. If it's raised, you can't put makeup over that to make it go away. All right, so I'm gonna go into my half red, my favorite lip liner, and I am gonna line my lips. Just like that. Pretty, right? This is MAC Half Red. Everybody asks every time I use it. MAC Half Red. Hey, it's MAC Half Red. Sometimes it's hard to find. So, then, if you guys think lip liner is for us older people, it's not. It's such a good way to define and fill your lips. It'll make your lips look bigger than they are, but without outer lining. You don't want to outer line, guys. You just don't. So if you just hug the edge with a good lip liner that's darker, and then you can put your, I mean, I'm not putting a bold lip on. I'm putting Frenchie, my cheek color. I'm putting that on. Okay. There we go. It's so, so pretty. Ooh. I'm going to top it with the shade of the month, Out Now. So pretty, and it's a good topper color. So it's called Hopelessly Devoted. It's pink, it's shimmery, and it looks like it'd be scary, but it's just a good topper. It goes on top of any color you want. Look, it just frosts the color. It doesn't change it, it just frosts it. It's also a really pretty illuminator. You could just pop it up here. It just creates this really pretty sheen. If you like illuminators, I don't typically use them, but this is great to go on top of any lip color, especially those matte colors, and a great illuminator, a cream illuminator. I prefer the creams over the powders because I don't like powders to fall out, and you got to keep them kind of on a separate layer with your eyeshadows, otherwise it can get into your creams. And then you end up walking out of your house looking like the Statue of Liberty. So, Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, that's it. That was pretty easy. You just mark up your face, blend it all together one color at a time, and it's easy. I mean, it's one layer of makeup. I mean, this looks good, right? Right. All right, that's it. But if you want to try a brighter under eye, try Versailles. It's very scary. It's very bright. It has pink undertones to it. But if you're just trying to get into brightening your under eye, so I have the blend brush, tap in and you just pop it right here. This is the first place to start. If you want to add a little pop of color, but you're scared that you're gonna look like a reverse raccoon, just pop it right there in the middle and blend it out, and it just adds this yummy brightness that's really youthful for your, for your eyes. And you can just tap it out with the fluffy end, just like that. And look, it just brightens things up. Next gateway spot, right here on the tip of your nose and right here on the middle of your brows. You just blend it out and you blend it out, and it just creates this little extra pop of brightness. It's so easy. So make it a pop color where it's not your main brightening, but it's just that little pop and that little pop. You just pop it, flip it, blend it. You're good. You're good. Okay. Have a great day.